And the final bit of advice that the CDC gives in connecting with others is building a strong support system. So it's interesting, a support system. In this context, I think they mean an emotional support system. And obviously, if you are like a parent with small children, building and a single parent, for example, building a support system is having friends who can also help look after your children if you need to go to the hospital. So there may be a practical sense in which we do need to build a support system of people that we can turn to, rely on, neighbors, friends. Sometimes it's just emotional support, right? It's having family that we can call, friends we can call, people, groups online that we like, where there's not a lot of trolling and flaming, where we can speak in positive ways with one another. This is part of our support network. There's a deeper sense in which we have an invisible support network that is 8 billion people strong, right? And going beyond people to animals and so forth. We have a support network that is inconceivable, literally blow our minds to try to conceive of the support network that supports us. If we're thinking about small steps, building a support network, it takes courage to ask someone, to knock on someone's door. So far, where I'm living in an apartment complex, nobody's knocked on my door ever to ask for help. It's almost never happened in my previous experience. People who grew up in small towns and people who live in small towns today may have a very different experience, but our urban areas and suburban areas are very isolated, right? Everybody's strangers. Everybody's moved there from somewhere else, right? So we don't really know anybody. I live in an apartment complex called the Village, right? Idyllic village. It's not a village because we all work outside, live outside, don't know each other. It's a bunch of strangers. So it takes courage to begin to build a support system, to knock on someone's door if you need something. So we need to build that courage in ourselves. One beautiful quote that I saw from Mike Rother, who's a famous guy in the lean manufacturing world, lean enterprise world, but he said how ironic it is that maintaining social distance is a way of coming together collectively. So maintaining a social distance isn't rude. It's not hostile. It's showing respect for the other person, right? Showing respect. It's a respectful distance. It's a beautiful thing, really, social distancing. So anyway, building our support network, support system takes courage to ask people, but then recognize there may be some give and take, and there's some negotiation among humans. We need to figure out, what's fair and negotiate. But that is something where we need to take steps, practical steps. Okay. The other support system, the only thing I'll say about this sort of invisible infinite support system is there is a billion reasons to be grateful every moment. Just looking around at the world that has been built around us for us to live in, the people that we know, the people that we don't know, the fact that we have an education. So look for those. Look for those invisible signs that someone or something has built something that's now of use for you. Someone has grown the food or shipped the food that you've eaten that's nourished your body. When we begin to wake up to how much has gone into creating the world that we live in, even though there's risks and dangers in general, it is a phenomenally amazing world, we see actually we have a support system already. We don't even have to build it. We think we live alone, but we don't live alone. You live on furniture that was built by some kind person's hands, right? You live on a floor that was built by the strong and courageous construction crew that risked their own health to build the building you're living in, right? Literally, I'm standing on shoes that were made by someone or a machine. Someone made a machine that made the shoes these days. We're living every manufactured thing. The desk that I have is a wooden desk, right? Someone organized for that to be shipped, to a store and so forth. There's signs of kindness everywhere. Nobody lives alone. No one lives alone even for a millisecond, microsecond. See the support system that you already have. Find new eyes to wake up to the support system that you